South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut was released in theaters 25 years ago, and it made a huge impact. And 25 years later, the movie still has a huge impact. And I'm reviewing this movie because not only is it the 25th anniversary, of course, which is a big deal, um, and also I got to go watch this film in theaters for its 25th anniversary thanks to Fathom Events. I bought my ticket immediately, and I went with a theater full of people, and we all laughed our asses off. There were tons of people in South Park cosplay. It was a great experience. Unfortunately, though, this film, they played this sing-along version, which I get it, because you want people to sing along, and it's got very catchy music, but nobody in the theater sang along. We did all laugh and crack our asses up, which made this probably one of the best theater experiences. You see, I'm young, and so a lot of, like, the comedies that come out now, there isn't really that joint community experience where everybody's going to see a comedy movie and they're all laughing anymore. But this movie had that experience and made me really kind of remember what it was like for comedy movies. Also, this is just, people really got into this movie during the movie because of course they did. This is a great ass movie. The thing is, I saw this movie on Paramount Plus. I've always wanted to see the movie. I saw this movie before I saw South Park because I'm like, yeah, it's a whole movie. Just let me do that. And this is a horrible way to get into South Park. Let me explain. This movie is so much better than any episode of the show will ever be. It is the best thing that Matt Stone and Trey Parker, well, at least one of them anyways, have ever done. And it's better than the whole series combined. Every single episode. Just flat out. This is such a great, incredibly well-written, well-crafted movie that is just so well done that it's ridiculous. That you can't even believe it's as good as it is. It's a movie that's so relevant 25 years later. I mean, of course, there's an obvious satire of what this movie was about, which is, it was about South Park, basically. It was about South Park. You got two Canadians who made this show, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and then they, went on to create South Park, and South Park got a lot of the backlash that they're obviously parodying in this movie, not even allowing them to speak on their own creation, things like that, and it's just a really interesting thing. So, but a lot of the censorship and the way they parody that is more real today, with cancel culture being a big thing and things like that, and people not even being allowed to have a space to actually communicate what their art means without people just getting outraged. And a lot of it's very real, very touch-worthy, but I think there's also more satire here with some of the war conflicts, and now we are and Americans and other countries are quick to escalate war. I mean, sure, it's all played for laughs and it's fucking ridiculous, but still, I think there is some that commentary in there. So there's a lot of great satire in this movie. The music's great. All the songs are incredibly catching. I know every single word. They're all in my head right now. Blame Canada, Uncle Fucker, I'm Super, all those, Quiet Little Mountain Town, The Resistance. Like, I could go on. They're just all great songs, and they're just so well done. The animation is gorgeous, and also I will say that one thing nice about seeing this for its 25th anniversary is this movie was cleaned up. It has a 4K Blu-ray, which I'm still waiting to get in the mail, but it was all cleaned up and restored so well, and that restoration process is why this film looks as good as it does, even projected on that big screen. So yeah, I think this is all around easily one of the best theatrical experience I've ever had for a movie that is still great to this day. And I think if you didn't have a chance to catch it in theaters, don't feel too bad. I'm sure there'll be other anniversaries and they'll put it back. But I would recommend you buy the 4K Blu-ray. The 4K remaster looks great. I got to see it projected on a big screen. I'm sure it will look just as great as on disc. And if you haven't seen this movie, it is well worth your time. It is incredible. If you've never seen South Park, though, I would say watch a few episodes. Watch that stuff first, and then watch the movie, just so you kind of understand what South Park is and you aren't like disappointed when you watch this movie and then we watch this show. It's kind of like if you watch Studio Ghibli movies for the first time. Never watch Spirited Away first. Spirited Away is the best one, or at least one of them, anyways. But like, don't watch that first. You'll just be ruined. You'll want that every time you watch a Studio Ghibli movie, and it's not going to be that every time. And so, yeah, it's just one of the great things about watching Studio Ghibli movies. And stuff like that. There's just so much great content out there. I don't know. Check out this movie. It's great 25 years later, and it feels really good to talk about.